A rebel, a challenger, a risk taker. The one who believes in the power of the underdog. Blazing his own trail, refusing to conform, daring to be great.
No mercy for you guys, man. Let's go together. 1, 2, 3, together.
Doncic. As he loses one into Lively. Washington.
Dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Domination by the Mavericks.
Each chapter brings new challenges. We've defied expectations, shattered records, and redefined what it means to play for this city. This time, everything is up for grabs, and we always gonna stand on business.
Hi,
what's up, man?
How are you, man?
Oh, pretty good. Long day.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
Yeah, it's only Wednesday.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we got an awesome show tonight.
Yes, we do. Something different.
Yeah, it's the same but different. It's the same but different. So I'm super excited about that. We got some heavy basketball stuff. This is our first heavy basketball, podcast.
Sure is.
Football college is done. You have NFL, one game left. We got the Super Bowl left, and we'll talk about that. I guess it'd be next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday, because the 9th is the game. So we'll talk about more. We'll get back to a little bit of football, but for the next couple of shows, will be basketball heavy. So I'm super excited about that. So before we bring our guest on, let's run our main ad for the night, and then we will get into bringing him on and chat with him for a little bit.
Do it.
One of the many things that we offer is a fence repair, and today we're out here in Longview, Texas. We are going to be replacing a rotten 4x4 post. Fence restored and standing tall. You can reach us at 903-619-6343.
Hold up. Get right with you. I'ma get right with you. Bad bitches fuck up the dismissal.
What's up, Jayvon?
What's going on, man? It's Jayvon, but what's going
on? Oh, Jayvon,
man?
my bad. Yeah.
Nah, you good. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Man. How are you, man?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for hopping on with this. We're excited about this. It's football, but you know what? Let's hop into it, man. So kind of give us a background of yourself. You're from Maryland. We know that. But maybe talk a little bit about high school, college, and kind of now you're in arena football, and that's something that I don't know a lot about. I know it's football, but I'd love to know more about it and kind of your journey and where you're at now.
Yeah, I would say I'm kind of a late bloomer. High school, I always had talent, but in high school I didn't know how to use it. So in high school I was kind of having fun playing football. Thankfully I got recruited by Coach Gaiman, and he offered me to come to Wheeling University, so I committed there. Was part of the inaugural team there in 2018, and I kind of still was just going with the flow with football. I wasn't really too invested. Like I liked it, but I didn't love it. So years went through. I went through years of that. Got to my 5th year, and they gave me a single digit for the first time ever in my life. I wore up a 0 that year for the first time, and I was I had a different mindset going into the off season. So I had my best year that year. I was able to get honorable mention. I feel like I should have got second team or first team, but I'm grateful to be on the team. So that kind of propelled me into my professional career, where I went through a year off. Yeah, that was a rough year. Went through a year off. Didn't know what really to do, but I knew that I had a game in December with free agent football. I'm not sure if y'all heard of that, but it's like it's like those bowl games they be having at the end for the players to find places.
Oh yeah.
It's like something like that. So my defensive coordinator at Wheeling University, he gave me that offer to play in that game the next year after I played my last year. So I played in that game. I was not prepared. I'm not gonna lie. Was not prepared to play in that game versus all those dudes coming out of college and all that. But I was a captain. My team elected me as captain, and I had a decent game. And that's where I met Coach Rez. That's the head coach of the Wheeling Miners right now. I met him there, and I guess my defensive coordinator, Coach Mott Gaiman, he already kind of gave Coach Rez a rundown of who I was and what I was about. So I think he was already invested in me as a player. And then we played that game. I was supposed to go to the IFL. I don't know if you know that league. The IFL is an arena football league. Yeah, it's like the top notch arena football league right now. So I was supposed to go play with him for the Tucson Sugar Skulls in Arizona, but that didn't happen.
That's a big move.
Yeah, it was it was huge, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I was prepared, but I was gonna go down there and get my best. So that didn't happen though. It was a break. Something happened. I don't know what really happened, but he came to Wheeling. Out of all the places he came to Wheeling. I just graduated from there, so I was definitely full on with that. And that was last December. The game happened last December. I ended up signing that January of 20. No. Oh my Lord, time is flying.
Yeah, it is.
It was 2 Decembers ago.
Wow.
It was 2023. That's when I played the game. And it was last January of 2024. That's when I made a decision to just train as hard as I can. Well, I can. That's a deeper story to that, man. But I don't know if I want to hop into it today. But I made a decision that month to just train as hard as I can and see what God blesses me with. And that season, my last season, he blessed me with a ring, my first ever ring, and my first ever all league selection. I was on first team defense. So
now, have you always been on the defensive side of the ball, even through high school?
Nah. High school, I was two-way player. I was an offensive player in high school. I didn't like to tackle for. I was trying to run you over.
Yeah.
Were you running back or what?
Running back, fullback for sure.
Well, I was going to say, you play linebacker, so you're in the best hitting position possible outside of a hybrid safety or something.
Yeah.
But you're at the best position where you can hit possible. So, once again, I don't know much about arena. I know it's not as many people on the field, but What you said you liked football. What made you fall back in love or in love with football? What was
Fall
that
in love
change?
with it.
Yeah, what was that for you? Made you change like I'm going for this.
It was that senior year, my 5th year. Like just grinding and I didn't. That wasn't the hardest I ever grind, but to that point it was. And I had a great year, and it was because of the work I put in, and it was because of how invested I was on the team and not myself, and just winning and brotherhood, togetherness, trust, all that. It was just all of what football can be. I
Mhm.
started I kind of got open to that my 5th year, and that's kind of what made me love the game. I didn't know what to do once I graduated. I'm like, damn, I fell in love with the game my last year.
Yeah.
I fell in love with my last year. I don't know what to do, but thank God I had that game.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome. So what was there other arena teams that were interested in you, or was it always willing for you?
it was Coach Rez.
It was Coach Rez. He's the one
Yeah.
that you just kind of stuck with that. That's
I was
awesome,
I was
man.
following Coach Rez. He was my only opportunity, and I appreciate him for that. That's why I'm gonna give that man everything I got this season. It's gonna be a great season, but I appreciate him for that. That was he doesn't know how much that move played a big time. Like it saved me a little bit. That move right there, just give me
Wow.
a place to play, something to chase.
Was
That
it
Wow.
was big time.
as far as the rules and stuff? Obviously, it's different, but was it hard going from like 11-man university
To 8,
to indoor? I mean, it was that a hard transition?
going from 11 man to 8 man. I wouldn't say it was hard. Just knowing the rules was the most difficult part for me. But
Are
I
some of
think
them
it
the
was.
same?
Oh yeah,
I, I,
very few, very few.
I think of a arena like so. We're talking about arena. You have 6-man football in high school. You have 11-man.
Yeah,
This is like an in between type thing, right?
yeah,
I'm
eight
not.
man.
It is. So, is it like a mixture of NFL and collegiate rules? Is that a good way, or is it not even nothing like that at all?
I found collegiate. I would
Like,
say
because
it's
there's some that are different. Like a catch. Is it a 1 foot or is it a 2 feet in type thing? Like, I
catch
just
is way different because it's a
really.
wall. Because you can catch the ball and your feet don't even hit the ground, but
Oh,
if you
that's
hold on
right.
to it, yeah, over the
Yeah.
wall, that counts as a catch.
Now, is this
Wow.
is your
Yeah,
league the one where they like to line up 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then run when the
yeah,
ball
that's
snaps?
crazy. That's crazy to me.
That
I
would be hard for me. Like
I
that's
cannot
wild.
stand that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Because like
And
I
the
don't know
league
how
we're
you
going to,
how do you guard that? Like as a defender, like this dude's running full speed at you, and you're on your your tiptoes waiting for the
hmm
ball to snap. That's wild.
well, football is an intimidation. It's an intimidating game. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to throw my gems, but like what I would do if I seen what I used to do when I seen them coming at me, I get real. First of all, I gotta make sure I'm lower than them, and then I'm coming at them looking like I'm about to blow them up when really I'm not touching them at all. You gotta kind of bluff to slow them down. Like that's the key. If you could just slow them down, get them off their track, you're good.
Is is there a lot more passing in arena, or is it pretty balanced between running and passing?
A lot more,
A lot
way
more
more
passing.
passing. Yeah,
So I'm assuming you have to play as a linebacker. It is a lot more coverage than just stopping the run or what. I mean, again, I
uh,
don't know much about it, so I mean, I'm just
yeah. Me either. I'm not gonna lie to you. Last year was my first year, and we were playing in a different type of style. It was arena football. I think we're playing indoor now, so it's
Mm.
different rules. I gotta relearn these rules. There's not one motion man. There's two now. So they got
Oh
two people
wow,
15 yards back.
moving.
That's insane. So
Golly.
that's
So
insane,
this so
man.
you went from playing arena, now you're playing indoor. So now there's a transition there. You're having
Yeah.
to. I'm assuming on the off season you've had to really study indoor for sure.
Oh, I haven't got. I'm not worried about that part, man. I think it'll be easy to transition into. It's football at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how big or how many games is a season, and kind of is there playoffs and championship? I'm assuming all
Yeah,
that's there as well.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's an 11 game season from like the beginning of March. to the end of June or beginning of July.
Okay.
11-game season. We got 2 or 3 playoff games. I think one of those is the championship.
So do a lot of y'all teams, I'm assuming, are they just all over United States, or y'all kind of just stick to one area of the United States?
It
The
looks
team
like
jumper?
we're across. We got Colorado team. Got a
Oh wow! So y'all do
we
some
got an
traveling.
Omaha team. Yeah, I'm
Is
excited.
there,
man.
is there any,
anything in Texas?
I was about to ask, is there anything in Texas that you could think of?
I can't think of anything in Texas.
Arkansas, Louisiana, somewhere
I'm
close.
about
We'll
to-
travel.
I mean, I'm interested. Hold on.
No,
Yeah,
they get in the IFL for sure, but yeah, San Antonio Gunslingers definitely in the IFL, but
Oh, okay.
not in
There you go.
NAL. No sir.
Now, are you not necessarily just you, but do you have a big team, or I mean, is there 20 people on your team, or what's the size of the team?
Pretty sure coach said it's gonna be I think he's trying to sign like 30-something people, but only 20 is really gonna be accounted like playing, and
I got you.
the rest is gonna be like people if somebody get hurt or
Practice
stuff
squad
like that.
type player.
Yeah. So I think
Hey,
it's really like 20,
Hey,
22
hey,
or something like
I
that.
want to throw something out there. I'm looking at your schedule right now. I'm on your website. I'm looking at the
Oh,
schedule.
man,
I had to pull it up, man.
Yeah.
We're coming to a game to watch you play. Y'all
Yes, sir,
play.
please.
Y'all play in Shreveport, March 22nd. We are an hour from there.
Oh, yeah, be there, man. It's gonna
March
be a
22nd.
good
March
game.
22nd. The Shreveport. I cannot say the name. It's
Oh,
Shreveport.
yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know how
But
to say it either.
They're playing in Shreveport March the 22nd, Derek. We need to find tickets and we need to go watch that game.
Yes, sir, man. Pull up, man. It's gonna be a great
Yep.
game.
I got it wrote down on the calendar. I just wrote it down.
There's Shreveport. Y'all play Harrisburg. Not sure where that's at. The Stampede, Carolina.
We used to play Harrisburg. We had to replace those games.
Okay,
because,
so those are replaced. Okay, so those aren't going to be on there. Beaumont Renegades. I'm not sure if that's Beaumont, Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Beaumont, Texas.
Where is that? I don't know where that is actually. That's a good question.
Then you'll have an Idaho team and then Columbus. So yeah, y'all have
Mm-hmm.
some games, but that Shreveport, we're gonna look up and we're gonna check out some tickets for that. I would love
Yeah.
to come watch a
that would be cool.
Sure, man.
That would be new for us. We went and watched we went to the bowl game in Shreveport this year and we watched Army and Louisiana Tech play. So it's not far from us at all. It's a drive there, drive back for us. So
Arena is exciting, man. It's different atmosphere. Everything is closer to fans, is right there.
Yeah, that's one thing I have
it's
noticed
exciting.
on the couple games that I have seen of arena football. You're like on the field almost. Like you're right there.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember who it was that I was watching. But the receiver, he lined up in the back and he ran like an out route, and the quarterback hit him, and the dude hit him at the same time, and he hit some kid in the stands. I was like, oh, this is wild. Like this is crazy.
That's happened to me before, and I didn't even know until I seen it on the film that I hit a kid and he was hurt. Like,
dang.
I didn't even know. Moving too fast.
that's crazy, man. That's awesome though. That's a pretty cool little.
I love it.
That's a cool. It's all cool to me because, as on your team. I mean, is it the same, pretty much same team as last year, or how does this work? Is there like, I know this is another, and you may not know this, but is there like in arena football? Is there trades? Is there free agency? Like, how does all that kind of work in arena football?
Well, I don't think.
Or like, do y'all have contracts, or is it a year by year basis?
Yeah.
Like,
definitely have contracts.
Okay, so there's contracts. Okay.
Yeah, I had one last year. Signed another one for this year. So I think it's a year by year thing.
Okay.
I don't think there's trades, but the free agency is like. I think there is a free agency. It's just not called free agency.
Yeah,
it's not as big. Obviously, it's like the NFL and stuff would be.
Okay. And I'm just curious, was it always just football for you? Like in high school, was it just football, or did you play like everything?
In high school, I played football all the way up until my senior year. That's when I played lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Yeah. Wow.
I should have played it every year because lacrosse was fun. It was really fun.
There's somebody for Notre Dame. He's a two-way player.
Yeah, I seen him. Mm-hmm.
they won the national championship last year, so he
Yeah.
plays football and lacrosse. So lacrosse is I've never watched it, but I see highlights of it all the time, and it looks like it's a very, very fun sport to play.
So we had
Yeah,
we
it's
have
very
a
fun.
guy that said the Brainstormers, the Barnstormers used to do open tryouts. Do y'all do open tryouts, or how does
Talking
y'all?
about the minors, yeah, we just had our tryouts January 10th. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
we just had
okay.
it.
So
Y'all
is that for the whole team, or is that just for like outsiders coming in to try out?
Oh, that
For
was
the
just for
team?
like local or anybody that
Okay.
wanted to try out for the team. Yeah, we already signed like I guess
Wow.
Is
four
Wheeling
guys.
is that a big place?
Wheeling? No, it's very small.
It's very
Really?
small.
Yes, sir.
Huh. They said I've never.
I've never heard of it
Yeah.
until
I didn't
today.
hear of it until I was offered.
So you were offered, yeah.
Yeah,
And then you find out it's down the road. It's where you're already at.
yeah, it's crazy.
So, kind of going back, you said you were you didn't play football for a year. What you said it was a rough year. What after being off a year, was it just the thought of knowing you could do this at another level than just high school and collegiate? Was it what brought you back after that year? Was it that coach, or was it just you knew you could play this game at another level, and that's how you wanted to
Well, yeah,
pursue it?
I definitely knew that I had more in the tank. Like I knew I had more in the tank. I wanted to tap into that. So what I should have did last summer or 2 summers ago was focus on the game in December and train. But instead, I was in my head thinking about, man, like what am I about to do? What I need to do this, I need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then time was just flying by me. And then this November came, I just started training for the game. Did the best I could. I was, in decent shape. But once Coach Reyes gave me that opportunity and I signed that contract and I made that decision to like just train and do it the right way, eat right, get sleep, do my push-ups, stretch, get in the ice tub, heat. When I made that decision to start doing it right, I committed to it. And last season is what brought me back, I say, because just seeing it all pay off, I know like I can do better than what I did the last off season, and who knows what I get this time.
I was say that's a whole different mind. You're like a whole different person now going into the year.
Definitely. I can't wait, man. I cannot.
Really,
wait,
and you hear this all the time. It's all mental. Like
Yes, sir.
you said, you were in your own head. I've got a 14-year-old daughter that is in her head. She's a good athlete, but she's in her head all the time. Like it doesn't matter what she does, she's in her head. And I'm like, get out of your head, get out of your own way. And like you said, when you did that, your appetite changed. You started taking care of your body. You started sleeping. You started doing all this stuff, and now you're a whole different person going into the next season. And I guarantee there's going to be better results for you coming this coming season, just because of that, just because of getting out of your own way. And that's awesome. Like that's very well said.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
What made you go to the defense side of the ball? Was it just the opportunity you had coming in, or because you said you played a lot of offense, in the past? What made you switch to the defense side of the ball?
I was the only high school I was two-way. Glenville talked to me kind of a little bit about playing running back, but they never offered me. And the only offer other than the I had like a preferred walk-on from Bowie State, but I kind of thought that was disrespectful. So,
oh wow,
I thought it was disrespectful.
Yeah, you know your worth and what you bring. So you got to do what you got to do, and you had the opportunity to come play, arena now indoor football. I mean,
were you at a big high school or another small school?
Real small public school, really a basketball school.
A basketball,
basketball school. Okay.
So it's probably like it's 11-man football, but on the smaller side. I can imagine that because I went to a small school.
Yeah.
They're 6-man now, so I mean I can imagine probably more. Yeah, it's crazy.
I graduated with 50 kids in my class.
Oh man.
I graduated with 20. So I mean, I'm even worse
With
than that.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was a little bigger than that, just a little bit, like 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My school is at the middle of nowhere where I went to high school at. So that's awesome, man. I mean, your story is phenomenal. I mean, you always hear about people, going through things, and then not only that, you took a year off and had to get right, and I'm glad you figured that out, man. Because just by hearing from you, man, you put the work in, you put the time in, it's
Sure.
paying off. Um,
Yeah.
Another thing I like to ask people, obviously the game of football, you go through things, but was there any kind of major injuries you ever had, or were you blessed to not really have anything significant? Because you're always going to get banged up,
Yeah.
twisted, rolled ankles, maybe some slight tears. Was there anything really significant you had to go through on the injury side of things?
Well, when I was younger, like in 8th grade, I fractured my. That was a tough time for me too, man. I was on a really good little league team, and we were serious about winning the championships. We were always in the playoffs. So I fractured my ankle, and I was a big part of the team. Like I was a fullback, I was a running back. I played DN and D tackle. I love the block, so you wouldn't find many, linebackers that was I wasn't blocking.
But you didn't.
Yeah, and I was a running back too, so I could see the whole. The running back's following the fullback, so I'm seeing, I'm leading, I'm kind of leading. I took pride in doing stuff like that. So, I fractured my ankle 8th grade or 9th grade, and we was on a really good team, and it hurt me to watch my team on the crutches in the playoffs getting whooped. Knowing I'm one of the.
But hey,
knowing I'm one of the key
it had
pieces,
to it had to make you feel a little good knowing that they was getting whooped and you wasn't out there. He's like, okay, so maybe
man,
they
I
needed
wanted to be out there so bad. I wanted to be out there so bad.
Wow.
So bad.
But
Came back next year, won a championship.
Wow.
There you go.
Hey, at least you knew that you were a big part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you have that missing player that's the guy or one of the guys, it sucks to see him lose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, hey, like now I have an opportunity to come back. You said next year y'all won a championship, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I don't count that though, man.
Of course, I'm assuming.
Hey, man, they all count, man. They all count.
I don't count it because they gave the weather messed the game up, so they gave both teams a trophy. I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I see what you mean by you don't like it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I'm assuming you obviously, like everyone does who plays football, have aspirations of probably going to the pros or like to go to the pros or the XFL or anything like that. Do you go to any like open tryouts for or would you go to any open tryouts for let's see where you're at over there, like the Baltimore Ravens or the Carolina Panthers? If they had open tryouts, would that be something that you might jump off into?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I train. I don't have like the stuff that they have, like the level they have, the top of the top trainers, the top of the top recovery. But as far as consistency and effort wise, I think I'm there right with them. So definitely, you give me a chance, I feel like I can.
And the reason I ask that
I
is I just in my mind, just talking to you, I think of like Kurt Warner's story. He was a grocery guy, and then he went to arena football, and then they came and got him from arena football, and that's just kind of where my mind went. Like being up in that area, if the indoor league is a big deal up there. Like I said, we don't really have that here where we're at. It's about an hour away, or it's all the way down South Texas. So we don't hear about it as much here, but like there, it might be bigger.
Yeah, got man. Shoot, Kurt Warner's story, I can see it for sure, man. Like,
you know what I mean?
I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping unless, God gives me a reason to stop, like an injury or something like that. But other than that, my will and my effort, my consistency, it's not going to change, man. I'm falling more and more in love with just the process every day. Like seeing myself get stronger, faster, knowing I'm putting the work in. I'm loving it, man. It's a rare, like the vision I see, I feel like it's rare, man. Because when I talk to some people about it, they don't understand.
They just doing it to do it.
Yeah, like that everyday grind, especially when you're being intentional. Oh man, I forgot to mention one of my guys, man, Coach Clegg, Dominic Clegg. This is one of my mentors, man. He helped me out a lot. before last season, right before I was going in.
Shout out to
He
Coach,
talked,
man.
yeah,
Shout out to Coach.
taught me a lot
That's
about.
something about you that I've noticed. Just talking to you for the 20th or so minutes, you're very appreciative of your not only your opportunities, but you're very appreciative of your coaches. Like you
Yeah,
said, the one coach that gave you the opportunity to play, and then he came kind
yeah,
of
Coach
to
Rez, yes,
Willing,
sir.
yeah, and then he came to Willing and gave you that opportunity again, and now you're shouting at another coach. That's very rare that you see a player and a coach with a good bond, or a player that has that much respect for a coach. I know,
That's what
like
it's
you
about,
said,
man.
that's exactly correct. And I think that shows a
Yeah,
lot, not only of them, but also of you.
that's what it's about, man. I mean, even if let's say I went with Coach Rez and I didn't play, like he told me I was gonna play and I didn't play. The fact that he gave me an opportunity to just showcase myself, you can't ever forget about the little things and what people do for you, man. When you start doing that, I feel like that's when you start losing like what you really your purpose for really doing it. When you just being
Yeah,
greedy and all that. So I mean, I'm big on that. I'm big on doing it for more than myself because it's the game is more than me. My life is more than everything is more than just me. I'm a small little, you know what I mean. So I'm big on that. I'm big on giving back and just being grateful, showing my appreciation. Yes, sir.
yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome, man. Um, Derek, you always have to ask a question.
I've always got to ask. So I normally ask it on the college side. College is over, but right here at the tail end of the NFL, who's your NFL MVP?
Woo. Mm,
That's a tough one.
it is. I got an answer for both, but I'm going to say Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I got an answer
I,
for Josh too. I can see why Josh can get it. He definitely deserves it.
So Josh was my number one for a long time. It's Saquon Barkley.
Oh, I didn't even think of him.
Saquon is the MVP, and he is so far ahead in the MVP for me, and it shows how bad of an organization that the Giants are. I think Saquon should get the MVP trophy on the 50-yard line of MetLife Stadium, and the Giants owners have to watch it. Like that. That's how bad that. I mean, I think that would be that would be amazing.
Yeah, that position gets overlooked a lot, running back. So
Hey,
people not
it's
really.
coming back. There's
Yeah,
there's about 6 or 7 running backs coming from college in this draft,
that's gonna be
along
nice.
with McCaffrey and Barkley and him. The running back position is about to be revitalized, I believe.
Yeah,
Um,
that's nice.
Fingers crossed. I know we talked off screen. You a Cowboy fan? Fingers crossed. We get one of the top two running backs in this draft. I'm looking for Genty, and I'm looking for Johnson from Iowa.
Yeah,
I am looking for him.
Mhm.
But also, my second part of the question: who you got winning it all, Philly or the Chiefs?
I got Pat, man. I want to see some history.
Ugh.
Oh, let's
And
go.
I like Dallas. I can't be with the Eagles. I can't. I literally, they're my rival.
I'm hoping a meteor hit. That's what I'm hoping.
I want to
Derek's
see
hoping-
Pat three-peat.
Matter of fact, you know what I'm hoping? You know the Batman movie where Bane like destroys the field while they're
Yeah.
running? That's what I kind of hope happens. I hope the field just like
He's just
disintegrates.
hoping to.
That's how I felt when the Commanders were playing the Eagles. That's how I
Yeah,
felt.
yeah.
You gotta be
I hated watching both of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we live about an hour from where Pat grew
Yeah,
up.
if that.
About
Oh,
an
for real?
hour. Oh yeah, yeah.
I
He's
saw
from
him
White
play
House.
1 or 2 games in high school. This is my problem. Okay, this is my problem. I have the same problem with Patrick Mahomes that I do with Steph Curry. Patrick
man.
Mahomes in high school and in college was a football player. Okay, you scored a
Yeah.
touchdown, you high fived your teammates, you did all, and you got off the field. Now he's a diva.
He definitely is.
Steph Curry, when he was at Davidson, when they went on that run in the NCAA tournament, he made his shots. He got back on defense. Now he does all that shimmying and shaking and looking in the crowd before the ball goes in. just play basketball. Like, don't check. Don't. Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett were ballers in high school.
Yeah,
and that's
I never
and
thought
they were
about
dogs. They were dogs, and that's what they did in the NBA. Kevin Garnett, as rookies, they were dogs. They
that.
never
Yeah,
changed.
it wasn't
Curry-
really people had set celebrations. People were kind of like just
Exactly.
emotions. Yeah,
Exactly. That's I see Mahomes and I see Curry and I put them in the same. And I ain't like neither one of them.
I love some Patrick Mahomes. I want him to three-peat as well.
Yeah.
Not only just I want him to three-peat, I actually think that, I mean, you got to beat the champ, you got to knock them off. They haven't been.
Got to.
They're going on 3 years of not losing in the playoffs. I know people said they barely won they won a lot of games by some of them less than 3 points, some of them mostly about 3 points. But during the regular season, it don't matter. The regular season, they're just trying to set themselves up for that number 1 seed. That's what they're just making sure they get that. The playoffs is just different. Now, everyone hounds on the refs and this and that. I get that. Do they have some calls go their way? They do. I mean, it's just fair to say. But what about all the other plays that are made? You got to. It's not. Some of them calls are helps them, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game.
It's when the calls are called is the problem. It's not.
It's always in a clutch
it's not that exactly. It's not.
It is.
That
It is. They're always in like.
Hey, did you know that at the end of the Chiefs and Buffalo game, when was it Dalton Knox dropped that fourth down pass? Did you know that there was a flag thrown?
Yes.
And it was waved off. What was it for? What was the flag even thrown for?
We don't know.
Just in case he caught it, we were going to say, "Oh, legal downfield," or there was going to be something.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's a bad call, right? Like, what I wish, and I think this is for all football in general or all sports in general. Don't let a flag or a penalty decide the game. Yeah. I agree with that, but here's where I disagree is be consistent with it. If you're not going to call it at the beginning of the game, don't call it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like they got to clean that up. I understand like people get mad at the refs, but what people don't understand is playing the game of football is one thing, but reffing a game ain't as easy as people think it is.
Nah.
It's not. It's a hard thing to do. You miss things. Sometimes you make calls that aren't necessary, or they're, you can say you can say in every play of football, no matter what level, there's a holding of some kind. We can all agree with that. So to be consistent with the play calling or to the penalties and stuff, they've got to clean it up. But I also think there's a lot of rules they need to take away. Again, I don't agree with the targeting in college. I get what it's there for. I don't agree with it because it seems like sometimes they take some of the best players out of the game over a targeting call. Just let them play the game of football, or vice versa. The targeting call put a team in a clutch position to score. They need to clean some of it up. They got to be consistent with the play calls. I'm assuming it's like that in your league as well. There's some calls you're like, whoa, what is that? Or whatever, like they need to be more consistent with calling the penalties and the flags, because sometimes it does change the outcome of a game. And I hate when that happens. Just like the weather. The weather can screw a game up. It's the same type thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I want the Chiefs to win because I want to see history made. But again, I mean, you got Saquon on the other side. You got Jalen Hurts that played really well last game.
It's going to be a tough game. That Eagles team is really good. Saquon's birthday is on the Super Bowl.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's going to be. And what blows my mind is I saw this the other day. The Eagles have the most rookies playing on the field.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they have
quite a few rookies that are playing.
I think most of them are on the defensive side too.
They are. I think there's one offensive lineman that's a rookie, but the rest are on the defensive side of the ball. And so, and the backup, Will Shipley, he's actually I think he's a rookie as well.
Yeah.
So from Clemson. So it's gonna be a great game. Derek won't pick. He wants him. He's just hoping for the meteor strike. So
yeah. But all we can do is hope.
I'm with you though. I can't root for the Eagles.
Yeah.
If I had to pick, I'll put this out there. If I had to pick, like gun to your head, you have to pick. I would pick Philly just because I don't like Mahomes that much.
Okay, so
I mean, just and plus that would only give them 2 championships. So they're still 3 behind Dallas. So it ain't like they're even close.
We get Philly too.
It
would get Philly too.
It would get Philly too. They'd still be 3 behind us. It's been 75 years since Dallas has won a title. So I mean, we're doing good. Like we're doing good.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad that they not close.
Yeah. Well, man, we appreciate your time, man. I know you.
I appreciate the podcast, man. It's a blessing.
Yeah,
it's awesome that you came on. We got the full story, you know, all the stuff you've been through, and we appreciate your time and hanging out with us.
We're gonna see you March 22nd.
Yeah, we're gonna dig
Louisiana.
I'm gonna see y'all, man. When I see y'all,
I got it. Hey, I got it wrote on the calendar. We're coming. We're
gonna figure all that out. We'll get down there and watch you play. Hopefully, we can catch you or something after the game. I don't know what the rules are about all that, but and we'll come watch you play, man. That'd be we'd enjoy that. I'd enjoy it. I love football. Yeah, I've never been to a football game of that like that.
Yeah,
so
it'd
be fun, man. So we'll be in touch, and again, we appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
We'll talk to you soon, man. Yes, sir. You too.
That was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. And he plays in Shreveport. That's even like that. That's wild.
I'm so glad we looked up. I looked up the schedule, and I was first time I went through it, I was like, oh, there's no one close. And then I went back up, I saw Shreveport. I was like, well, I know the United States is massive. Let me make sure this is the right Shreveport, and it is. And yeah, we'll have to get on the website and figure out.
Brad said, "What's your favorite thing to do on the field of play?" I love quick slants to linebacker. I want to release the block. So, as a former wide receiver, I'm not going across the middle. I'm not running no 15-yard post with Brian Dawkins or Ed Reed waiting on me back there. Give me them 10-yard out routes. Let me work that sideline. Give me that streak. That's all I want. Let me just run down the field. Just throw it up. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, let's so before we hop into the basketball stuff, let's run another ad, and then let's talk about the WNBA trades.
Yep,
There's
some
interesting stuff in the WNBA. So let's talk about that, and then we'll hop into some NBA and some college stuff. College has actually been kind of quiet this week. Basketball hadn't been no crazy games. There's a couple at the beginning of the week.
Oh, Arizona and
yes, Iowa State.
State, yes, sir.
Yeah, that was I think that was Monday.
That's an ex-Target.
Yep. So let's run this our next ad, and then we'll hop into some of that stuff.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's talk about some of these things that have happened in the WNBA. Obviously, the biggest one that stuck out was the Kelsey Plum, Lloyd trade. That was surprising. What are your thoughts on it? I think Kelsey Plum to the Sparks makes them better for sure.
I love Kelsey Plum to the Sparks because they get the number 2 overall pick back. The Brink girl. She's coming back from an injury. fully healthy from what I read. Still just kind of easing into the off-season workouts and stuff like that. They have the number 6th or 7th pick this year. And every mock draft that I've seen, they're getting Asia Fudd from UConn, which is going to be huge. Then you bring in the veteran Plum. I think that is a complete win-win for them. And I kind of think she wanted to be there. I think she wanted maybe a change. I know it's weird to say they want to change after you just won, I think, back-to-back titles. But I love it. I think it's a great addition for the Sparks.
Yeah, she gets to go over there with Cameron Brink, coming off a decent rookie year. And it brings something back to the Sparks that they've been down for a while now.
Yeah.
Ever since, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the last time I remember the Sparks being irrelevant was when probably Candace Parker was there.
Candace Parker, yep.
So It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So, I mean, I'm not saying this puts them back in championship contention, but I think with the addition of her, what they do in the draft, because there's some great collegiate people coming, women coming out of the draft or coming out of college. I would not be surprised with adding Kelsey Plum, Cameron Brink being her second year. I think that adding a rookie that will contribute day one, I think they're on their way back.
I agree.
I think it was a great trade for them.
People don't understand just how good Kelsey Plum is. How good she was at Washington. She was the leading. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. The women's leading scorer for a long time.
Yep.
For a long time until Clark broke it 2 years ago.
She was a really big piece of their team in those championship teams. She was always overlooked, obviously because of Asia Wilson, and rightfully so. I get it. But Kelsey Plum is a phenomenal player. She was amazing at Washington. They draft her, and this was like maybe it's either year 1 or 2 of them coming from Austin or from San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
And they really built that
that's
team
right.
up. Yeah, they were the San Antonio team of the WNBA, and then they went to they went to Las Vegas. So, because the coach for them, I can't think of her name. She was on Greg Popovich's staff. She played for the Spurs team of the WNBA, so she was very familiar. Kudos for both teams. I also thought that the Aces got a good player back in return. I don't think they miss a beat, as in players. I can't think of her name. It's something Lloyd. I'm looking at the list here. I'm not even Joelle. That's right.
Yeah.
So I don't think they miss too much. I'm not saying they're equal, but I think that with as much the Aces have, they'll be fine. But I love it for the Sparks because I think they just with this trade here, they instantly get better. So I hope they have a great year. Kudos to whoever made that happen. I mean, that was a heck of a big trade. Did not see that coming. Did not see them getting rid of Kelsey Plum.
To me, the biggest news of the WNBA was a re-signing.
Okay, yeah. Which one was it? Because I have it pulled up here.
Kelsey Mitchell re-signing with the Indiana Fever was huge because it kept the backcourt with her and Clark together.
Yep.
And I think that is going to be the best backcourt in the WNBA. Mitchell is your slasher. She's going to be the one that's going to drive and kick. Yep. Obviously, we know Caitlin Clark's going to spot up, shoot threes, and she can create her own. Like, she can get to the bucket herself. But I think that was massive. Because there was talk that she was going to leave. And I know Dallas was kind of in the running for her, which would have because they're getting Paige in April, whenever the draft is. They have the number 1 pick. They're going to get Paige. So that would have been massive for Dallas. But kudos to the Fever for re-signing Mitchell, especially when they just built that $7 practice facility. That's big. That's big for that organization.
Another trade, or this may have been a signing. I'm not sure. Was Alyssa Thomas to Phoenix?
That was a trade.
That was surprising.
Yes.
Yes. Because Connecticut was really good. Phoenix was subpar, even though they had Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner is overrated.
She is. She's definitely fallen off. But we'll talk about her in a minute because she's leaving as well.
Yeah, she went to
Atlanta. She's in Atlanta.
Yes,
Atlanta.
Yes.
On a 1-year deal. So Alyssa Thomas to Phoenix is big. There are a lot of unsigned free agents. I mean, the list here is insane. Trying to see
Diana Taurasi is on that list. Elena Deladova, who was phenomenal in college. She was awesome at Delaware.
Another key piece from the New York Liberty has left. Courtney Vandersloot is going from New York. She's going to Chicago now. Wow. She's old. Now she is old. She's up there. I thought she was going to retire after last year. After she got her championship, she's not done. I mean, I don't know if what's behind that deal. I thought she played well for New York last year, but she's off to Chicago. Jaylen Brown for the Dallas Wings. They signed her during the training camp, so they keep a good piece, a young piece to their core. This is someone I don't know who she is, but her name is Lee Yubru. She's a Chinese player. She is the Seattle. She plays for the Sparks. Seattle Storm gave her an offer. The Sparks have extended an offer to her, but nothing's been accepted yet.
Well, no. That was in the trade.
Oh, that was part of the trade? Oh, okay.
So Las Vegas sent Kelsey Plum to the Sparks, and Joelle Lloyd went to Las Vegas, and then the Storm are receiving multiple draft picks as well as the Ford. And that is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first WNBA trade ever with draft picks involved. Multiple draft picks. My bad.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, it's
getting a little bit. The little WNBA is they're trying to do something.
They are, man. And then again, Brittany Griner off to Atlanta. I think she has been overrated for a couple of years now. I think she was looking for a change. She's been in Phoenix her entire career. They were never in her earlier years. They were really good. When they had Diana Taurasi for a little bit, they were pretty good. I think she was just looking for a change. Now, I'm not sure if anyone else offered her, but she chose Atlanta on a 1-year deal. And a 1-year deal is very rare. I mean, maybe not in the WNBA, but it's very. If you get a 1-year deal in the NBA, it's usually like a role player. It's not someone that's going to come in and start. I know the WNBA is a little different when it comes to stuff like that, but so she's off to Atlanta, and that's about all that's happened as of now through the WNBA when it comes to the trades and the free agent signings. But more will come because there's a list of people that are free agents. So I expect some stuff to happen continuing on because the WNBA starts sometime in May. So there's still some time.
That's something else that I love is you have March Madness. You have the draft in like late April, early June. And then they play. You're literally going from college ball to training camp to boom, all in like 3 months.
Yeah, them rookies are having to get in there quick and get it going.
They almost play a full year. Yeah.
Because like the NBA is done in June, they don't play again until October. So I mean, it's kind of similar-ish, but there's a little bit bigger of a gap there. But okay, well, kudos. We'll keep up with the WNBA stuff. Let's run another ad, and we're going to get into. We'll talk about some NBA stuff. Let's hop into the NBA stuff. Some scores over the last couple of days. And I actually was going to do a little segment we talk about Dallas, where you want to see them going. You got the draft-ish coming up. Then you have free agency, the deadlines, trade deadlines in about a month-ish, maybe 3 weeks. And then we'll talk about some Spurs stuff we want to see them do. We've been hearing some stuff going on with that in the last couple of days. So let's run this ad and we'll get into the NBA stuff.
Comanche Tees is located in Longview, Texas. They are owned by Naomi Simmons. They specialize in making all kinds of custom apparel and hats for any occasion. You can scan the QR code on the screen to go to her Facebook, give her call at 903-985-9120, or even email her at comanchetees24@gmail.com.
All right, so here's a couple scores. This is from pretty much Monday, Tuesday. The Pistons, here, I'm going to tell you the team I really like right now. As I love what the Pistons are doing, they have been terrible for a while.
Oh, wow.
They're 500 team right now. That's huge. They're usually 15, 14. They have a chance to make the playoffs. I love Cade Cunningham. He's finally blooming. My favorite player they got this year was a veteran player. He came back was Tobias Harris. I know he's at the end of his career. He's not like the star, but he's great for them. Like they needed that veteran presence in there. So I kind of like what they're doing. The Heat drama, they're winning, but the Heat drama is insane. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Let's just touch on. Let's get that over with.
Okay, let's get it over with.
It is just trade him.
I'm there with you. Just get rid of him.
Like all you're doing is looking like a fool because you're suspending a guy who doesn't want to be there anyway. So he's not playing for you. He's just. Did you see what he did today? Did you see the tweet he put out today?
Yes.
The credit card got declined because he was suspended. Like, bro, look, he's making a mockery of you, Pat Riley. That's what he's doing. He's making a mockery of you.
Butler's winning in this. He's having fun.
100%. You why? Now they've dropped their asking price for him, and the Golden State Warriors are the front runner to land him. I don't know if you've seen that today.
I did not see that.
The Golden State Warriors are the front runners to land him now because of the asking price was dropped. I didn't see what it was, but it was confirmed that it has been lowered because Golden State is now back in the mix to land him and actually are the favorites. It's just so dumb. Like, I get both sides. I guess you can theoretically say, like, I pay you to play. Like, don't come out here and be stupid and dumb. But on Jimmy's side, like, he's done. Like, he's done. Like, you knew what you were getting when you signed Jimmy. He is Antonio Brown of the NFL. Of the NBA. And just be done with it, man. Like, they're not going to win, so blow it up and just go on about your business.
Yeah, they're causing more drama than what's needed, and Butler's going to thrive off of that, because of how he is. So really, he's making a laughing mockery of Miami. I love that tweet. I have nothing wrong with it. You're gonna play this way. I'm gonna play this way too, and so I'm not mad about what he's doing.
What's going on, Rocky? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Rocky, man? How are you? They just need to trade him, man. Get it over with. Don't know what you're waiting on. Just get it over with, man. Just trade the guy and get him. Get him to where you want to send him. I see them. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't send him to Warriors to piss him off. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on a crappy team, because now at this point,
the only reason he would end up on a crappy team is because the crappy team isn't going to have the pieces. And
they may not.
Because you know what I mean. Like the Warriors will probably offer up Jonathan Kuminga or Andrew Wiggins and 3 firsts or something like that. Some sort of package like that. How well does Butler and Draymond Green work together. I don't know. That's
That'd
like
be
pouring
interesting.
oil on a fire. I mean, it's
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they should get that over with and stop causing all this drama. So Pat Riley, just please trade him, get it over with. I think they know what they want to do. They're just going to hold out for whatever reason they're doing. I mean, you've already suspended him indefinitely. At this point, why don't you get somebody in that will play and contribute? Because right now you're missing your so-called one of your star players, and I understand he has been playing the best, but maybe he doesn't want to be there. Maybe he's trying to out. He wants out. He's been wanting out. It's obvious. So just get rid of him. Get somebody in there that can contribute and attempt to. I mean, I think the Heat will make the playoffs, but they're not going to win a championship. We know that.
yeah.
But kind of talking some more about these games. Lakers on this other side get clobbered by the 76ers. I mean, I don't know what the Lakers are doing. They're forcing.
Did you watch that game by chance last night?
I watched some highlights. I mean,
so no Joel Embiid. You have Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain leading the way. Anthony Davis went out midway through the second, I believe. Bronny played a crap ton, which he does not need to. I mean, he's not like. Did you see what Stephen A. Smith said about that? Stephen A. Smith is like, LeBron, you need to step in and be a father and not let him come back up to the NBA. Colin Cowherd said it perfectly. Bronny was a really good high school player. He was an okay college player. He's just a player in the NBA. He's not good. He's not okay. He's just here. I absolutely love the fact that the Lakers got destroyed by the 76ers. Another person that I think needs a complete change of scenery is Joel Embiid. I know I've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
He has played 248 games in his career. He has missed 240 games in his career. He's made $246 million playing 50% of his games.
I mean,
okay?
you could give me like $500,000 and play that many games. I'd be happy.
Mean, he needs to change the scenery. There's some controversy around him about all this games that he's missing and crap like that. And another thing, I'm not too sure the best team in the West is not the Houston Rockets.
I agree. The Celtics have been falling.
The Celtics have been falling. The Houston Amon Thompson
is so good.
Amon, however you want to pronounce it.
I think it's Amon Thompson. So
that
good.
Dude is unfreaking believable. I have enjoyed watching him play. I did not watch him last year as a rookie. I will say this. I know he has a twin brother on the Pistons, I believe.
Yes. Yep. On the Pistons. Yep.
But the dude for the Rockets is amazing. I mean, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a comparison for him, but I don't know because he's super athletic. Maybe like a Amon Shumpert or something like that. Plays.
He
really
reminds
good.
me of now this player comparison may not be accurate, but when I look at him, I see the hustle. I mean, I think he scores better than this person, but this player was really well. He's a great defender. Amon or whatever. He's a great defender too. I kind of look at him and I see him having a better career than this person. Not that this career had a bad career, but I see a kind of a Matt Barnes a little bit. Like I think he's going to be better than a little bit better than a Matt Barnes, but Matt Barnes could score. He was a great defender.
Yeah, I like that.
He was just high 24/7, so he didn't care to play. He was.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll tell you every game. I mean, but I kind of see a better Matt Barnes in him. I'm trying to think of another comparison too because he plays like that wing and wing players are usually great defenders with some offense, kind of like Kawhi Leonard when he plays. It's very rare, but when he plays, he's a great. He can create offensively. But you know what I want to see? I want to see the brothers play. You know, It's very rare, but you do see it. Caleb Martin and his brother played together at Charlotte.
Yes.
Who are the other brothers that played at the Clippers? They were man.
At the Clippers?
Yeah, I think it was at the Clippers or maybe it was Phoenix. I can't remember the brothers. They don't play no more. They're not very old, but they played power forward. Both of them did. I lost my train of thought. I can't think of their names. But they played together for a little bit. God, what are their names? I see them, but I can't think of their names. I'll think of it, but I would love to see them meet up somehow. I don't know. They're both on like the Rockets are good. The Pistons are coming along.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that would ever happen, but maybe in the future. But yeah, he's a phenomenal player. The Rockets are really good. The Rockets have a very good young core. But I saw something today that surprised me with the Rockets. Now, I don't know, kind of talking about this De'Aaron Fox thing, and I know we'll talk a little bit more about that, but I heard his name mentioned to the Rockets getting rid of Fred VanVleet. I don't really know if that works for them because Fred plays well for them. So I don't really know what's up with that. But,
I'm going to tell you why that worked, in my opinion.
okay.
You got the Thompson kid. You've got the Green kid. What do? They like to run.
They run a lot.
They
And
like
De'Aaron
to
Fox,
get up and down.
Fox loves to run.
Yes. That I think that would be he's a veteran. I know Van Fleet's a veteran. Van Fleet he's just a ball player. Like I don't see him as like a star or I don't see that from him.
He's good. He's just not a star.
Exactly. I
He's
think
very
De'Aaron
good.
Fox puts that Rockets. If that's the trade, maybe throw in some bench player
Picks
or
or
two,
something.
or
Yeah.
Don't give up anybody major.
No.
And I think the Fox trade to Houston it was awesome.
I love the Rockets. I love Seguin. Man, he's so good.
Yes, he is so good.
He is so good. They haven't had a big man in Houston in a while, like a big man, like big man, like that's contributing. He's almost like a Jokic, just not as Thompson from the Rockets. He reminds me of Josh Howard.
Good. Yeah,
That's another great comparison.
I'll tell you another one. Michael Finley.
Ooh, Michael Finley. That's another good one. Yeah,
that's another good one. I didn't even think
and
about
shoot. That. Great defender. Yeah,
great defender. Yeah,
I like that. That's
a good pick, Mike.
That's a great comparison. Yeah. And he's young. Like I said, he's only in his second year. Yeah, he's a second year.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, second year. So
year.
They're good. So let's kind of talk about
Knicks just beat the Nuggets.
I'm not really surprised. Let's talk about your Mavericks, man. What do you want to see from the Mavericks over this next stretch? Do you want them to do anything in free agency, or at this point you just want them to get healthy because they have been injured all year? What do you want to see from them?
They need to get healthy. That's just first and foremost. We got to get healthy, and I know the trade deadline is like literally coming up. It's what, a week away, 2 weeks away.
It's a couple weeks. It's in February. I want to say it's like second week of February, maybe third week, but it's about 2 to 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there? I mean, you look at the team they have. I think they have a great team. They just haven't been healthy. Luka hasn't been healthy. Kyrie's been hurt. Clay, I don't think he's been hurt, but he's just not Clay. Maxi Kleber just got hurt. So they've been hurt. Derek Lively is hurt. Like, they're hurt, man. Is there anyone out there that they could go get that could keep them on course to make the playoffs, and then by the playoffs are healthy? Or do you want them to keep intact and just strictly get healthy and see how it goes? Because they went to the finals last year.
I would love to see, and this is just on it. Jimmy Butler would be great in Dallas.
Oh, well, of course he would.
If he would just do a role. Like, don't be the guy. Don't come in and think you're going to jump Kyrie or Luka.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you a low-key move that I would love to see Dallas do. And it's going and getting another big. I would love it if the Kings are talking about breaking up. If they're going to blow it up,
Sabonis.
Sabonis, or go get Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray's good.
A stretch 4 with Lively that can run. Let Lively be your big. I mean, because theoretically you could play small ball and put Keegan at the 5, put PJ Washington at your 4, then do Clay, Kyrie, and Luka, and that's
kind of like an old school Warriors lineup.
Kind of like an old school Warriors lineup, absolutely. But I mean, I would call about the bonus and just say, here's PJ Washington. Here's here's PJ Washington, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jaden Harden, Malik Morris, and Dwight Powell, or what a combination of that.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 first-round picks. I think that would send Dallas over the edge.
And they'd have a big man that could play now because they're hurting big time in that department. Their big mans are hurt.
Yeah.
Hey, weird breaking news. I got some breaking news for the Super Bowl. It's just you're gonna love this. I love it. Jameis Winston is gonna be a Fox digital correspondent for the Super Bowl. Love it. I love it.
Love it.
Get to hear him talk at the Super Bowl is again. I know people.
I need him to be on a duo. Him and Boogie. Him and Boogie. Hey, the team with the most points is going to win the game.
Oh,
just letting you know. That's a Boogie take.
Oh man, I love it.
Here we go, right here.
Okay, look at you healthy. I love a big man. Gafford, live and maybe Miles Turner. Ooh, I'll tell you something about Miles Turner. Before he signed his last, when he re-signed with Indiana, I want him to come to San Antonio. I love him. He's a Texas Longhorn.
Yep.
Indiana they're not like, I don't know what that team is. I mean,
his loyalty has cost him rings.
Yeah, he's very loyal to Indiana.
I'll tell you straight up, I love that.
I love it too.
The loyalty, but the Duncans, the Dirk, Kobe, people like that. I missed that era of basketball where, you might have you might have 2 stars on the team through free agency. It wasn't no diva stuff where you forced to trade or anything crazy like that. I miss those days so bad.
Mm-hmm. I do too, man. Like loyalty is very rare in the NBA.
One of my favorite teams ever, and it was actually there's 2 of them. It was the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies with Tony Allen and Gasol
and Randolph, Mike Conley. Now Mike Conley's not there now, but yeah,
right. That team
good.
And then that probably 2000. Let's just say 2008 to 2012 Atlanta Hawks team. Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Horford, Jeff Teague. Like those teams were built. They didn't go out. They built through the draft. They were low key free agent pickups. Mike Miller was on that team. If I remember. No, not Mike Miller. White kid that could shoot. Was it Dunleavy?
Mike Dunleavy.
Yeah, Mike Dunleavy. Like those are the kind of teams that I like watching.
I miss it, man. I mean, because San Antonio was the same way.
Absolutely.
They had their core, but when they and I mean, I want to make myself go away to see all these players, but San Antonio, they had Boris Diaw. Listen, Boris. I used to make fun of him. That dude was. I mean, he's like he reminds me of the way Jokic moves, but he did some crafty stuff. He wasn't on that level. Don't get me wrong, but he was super slow. But he was a phenomenal. I love it when they had Thiago Splitter. This is like really young and Kawhi's here. They had DeJuan Blair. Like they had these just no-name players, but they were all so loyal to San Antonio.
One of my favorite players of all time. was Tony Allen. Tony Allen could get you 8 points, or he could get you 18 points. But what he did on the defensive end was and he loved that. Like, he loved doing that. That's what makes him one of my favorites, is because you got all these guys that, if I'm not getting the ball 27 times and making 40 points a game, I hate it. Like, I'm mad. I want to be traded. He just wanted to go out and play some defense. Like, he just wanted to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, Tony Allen was a dog in Memphis. Man, that Memphis team.
I can't believe they didn't win.
I know.
Yeah, same with Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, they had and when Atlanta had, they had Al Horford,
Josh Smith.
Josh Smith was, man, I love some Josh Smith.
Yeah.
Jeff T.
ISO Joe.
He'd get at that free throw line. Good luck stopping him.
Remember when he made Paul Pierce touch the ground?
How do you forget, man? I mean, there was a lot of they were big name players, but I think you hit it right, Derek. They were all loyal.
Yep.
They never thought to leave. Like, Damian Lillard and Steph Curry are a few of the only ones that Steph still plays for the Warriors, but like Dame Lillard, I thought he was never leaving Portland. Yeah. I truly believed that. He acted like he wouldn't. I think they moved on from him more than he moved on from them.
I agree. I think they got what they could from him.
They wanted to keep, I mean, he wanted to stay there. He was super loyal to that organization. I mean, he played there for a long time. I think once CJ left, he was like, I think he thought twice about it and then started to realize, like, they don't want me, so whatever.
Did you ever hear the story of Kobe and Dirk? I don't remember if it was Dirk was going to sign with the Lakers or Kobe was going to get traded to the Mavericks.
It was Kobe going to the Mavs. That was really talked about.
Do you know why it was Nick?
I don't.
Kobe talked to Dirk and said, "Hey, if the roles were reversed, would you get traded to Los Angeles?" And Dirk said, "No." Dirk said, "I'm loyal to Dallas." He says, "Yeah, me too." And so they just kind of both, Mark agreed to not trade for him, and the Lakers agreed not to. They both ended up going and winning another championship. And I'll stick by this. Dirk had not only the greatest finals run because of who all he beat, that was the last true title that they'll ever be.
Yeah.
That was the last not bought championship. Everybody, all the main players were 30 plus years. I mean, you had Kidd, you had Terry, you had Dirk, you had Tyson Chandler. I mean, all these people are old. So yeah,
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about San Antonio here. Well, I obviously it's my team. So I don't know how we do this without trading. We're going to lose people if we trade for Fox, whoever it is. We're going to lose somebody I don't want to lose. And I hate that because, again, San Antonio, they usually build with them. They build the players. They work. I mean, they grind and they get better. But I do think they need to do something because offensively, it's not the problem. Their defense with Wemby is it. Wemby and Castle are about their best defenders. And Castle's a rookie. I love him. He's one of the he's top 3 in every category as a rookie. But Wemby needs help defensively. He can block 20 shots a game, but they still find a way to lose. Offense is not a problem. I say the offense is inconsistent. So I would like to see them trade. We need either another big man, because Zach Collins is not it, or we need a young point guard like a De'Aaron Fox, a Trae Young. I would even be okay with LaMelo Ball. They need to do something because I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. It's going to be close. Like, they're losing right now to the Clippers, which I'm not mad about. I mean, it's not a big loss, but I mean, the Clippers are loaded if you look at them. They're loaded to an extent. I'm not saying they're going to win championship, but they if you look on the paper, they're definitely a better team roster wise if you look at it. But I'm so worried because how it is the day and age that if Wemby doesn't get the help when his rookie contract go over, I'm scared he's going to leave. So I expect something to trade deadline or this offseason they're going to make a splash that you're not used to seeing from San Antonio. Like their biggest splash signing, in my opinion, over the last 10, 12 years was probably, oh my God, he was from Portland. I lost my train of thought. The big
LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge. That was like a really surprising signing. I know they had Paul Gasol, but Paul Gasol was like not in his prime.
No.
But he was there. So they need to make a splash, man. They need to do something. They need to bring in another defensive minded player. Like De'Aaron Fox he's for one, he will run you out the gym. He'll run all day long, so he's not bad defensively. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if DeJounte Murray came back. He's super long and lengthy.
Yeah.
He can score. He won't be in New Orleans much longer. They're going to break that up. Zion, everyone's going to leave. New Orleans is going to be not a nobody.
Hey, I seen a thing that said, Brandon, I love this. I love this trade idea. Brandon Ingram to Memphis.
Oh my!
I love that.
If he goes to Memphis,
and then I just got something across my phone. 3-team trade. It's not a trade. It's proposed.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Butler to Golden State. Andrew Wiggins back home to Toronto, and Bruce Brown to Miami with picks.
Bruce Brown is he was at Denver, but I don't think he's at Denver anymore.
He's in Toronto.
Oh, he's in Toronto. Okay, yeah. That's right. He left.
Ooh, what about that take right there?
Ooh, Tobias Harris. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, he's a.
I think he's on the last year of his deal as well, so that'd be massive cap space.
Yeah, and you can get him for cheaper. But that would be a San Antonio move. That would be the move. That would be a non-big player, but a contributor, another veteran. Because really, if you look at it, they only have one veteran on that team, and that's Chris Paul. Like everybody else is. I mean, I guess you could say Zach Collins, but he's drama. Yeah. He's a drama queen. I can't stand him. I thought he had the potential to be the next decent big man in San Antonio out of Portland, and he just ain't panned out. He don't even play. Sometimes he don't even play. Hey, what's going on, Brandon? How are you, man? Thanks for popping in. Tobias Harris.
What's up, Brandon?
Oh, Michael also said Fox will end up in San Antonio. I mean, he wants to come. He said it's his destination. I'm just curious what they give up. I mean, being a San Antonio fan, they don't need to give up Castle. They don't need to give up Vassell. I'm okay with Keldon Johnson. That's the thing is I don't want them to give up a Shohan either. But somebody's going to go because you're giving away De'Aaron Fox. Like,
yeah.
Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal. If I had to pick one, I'd rather have Zach LaVine. I'm not a big fan of Bradley Beal. I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know if that's just me being me. I don't know how you feel about him, Derek. I would rather have Zach LaVine if I had to pick one.
If I'm getting Washington Wizards, Bradley Beal, I'm good with that. If I'm getting,
but when have we seen that? We haven't seen that.
We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. He's been hurt ever since he's left Washington.
Yeah.
You know, dude, I'm going to tell you a player that just fell off that I loved, man. And this is so random, and it's because John Wall, man, he had the opportunity to be so good. I don't even know if he plays anywhere.
Dude, he made so much money and never played. Like, he signed all those big contracts and then played like 10 games and then was done in Houston.
Yeah. San Antonio just lost. Yeah. So, man, I need them to make I mean, it doesn't have to be a big splash, but we need something. We need something to kick this thing back up because now we're under. Well, for one, I will say this: they haven't had Pop hardly all year. You know, he had a heart attack. He's still recovering. Yeah. You know, people will say, "Oh, you know, he's a great. I mean, one of the best coaches, if not the. He's up there, top 3 coach of all time. He's up there. We need him back. We need his mind. We need his grit. We need that yelling. They need something because it's such a young team. Mitch Johnson is a great up-and-coming young coach, but he's just not that guy. He's not – I'm sure Pop's in his ear, but the president of Pop being there is different.
We were just talking about Atlanta, man. The ISO Joe, Josh Smith, that was a great Atlanta team. The team now, I don't know about them. Trae Young is mid.
Brandon, since you're an Atlanta team, I don't know how you feel about this. We talked about it earlier, but how do you feel about getting your thing? I don't know what she really is, but Brittany Griner, how you feeling about that one? Coach Pop needs to hang his whistle up. Great coach. Heart issues aren't the thing to mess with it. I had a widowmaker myself. Still have trouble. Yeah, I mean, health is big. Pop's been at it for long. He's old. He's creeping 80. But I think the reason he's not going to retire is I think he sees what he has, and he's giving it one last hoorah to see if he can get him another one to give him his 6th. But like I said, they've got to make moves. They got to abandon the Spurs way, the old school way, and just building draft, a little bit of free agency. They got to abandon that a little bit. And they got to go get somebody to help Wemby and get this thing. They're better this year. There's no doubt that. I mean, they were like 6 wins in this time year, 8, maybe 10 wins. They're in the 20s, so they're improved. I do think the addition of Chris Paul's veteran leadership has helped. I think the addition of Stephon Castle being a rookie and contributing has helped. I just don't think they're there because the West is too stacked. I mean, look at Dallas; they're not even healthy, and they're still in the hunt. They're around 500, maybe a little bit over.
Mm-hmm. We're 7.5 back from Houston.
So they've got to do something. I don't know what they do. I hope they get Fox. I think that definitely takes this team to a playoff contention. Not saying they're going to win a championship, but I think they can make the play-in. Let's see. We're saying great move. Glad. Brandon, since you're Atlanta, do you really think that she will be a difference maker for them? I mean, because she's okay. She's not like she was. I mean, I don't know. Oh, it says Atlanta Dream have now sold out the season tickets in back-to-back seasons. This time they sold out in less than 2 hours. Wow. I mean, that's awesome for them. That's awesome for the WNBA. They're selling tickets. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think she's still good. I mean, she's humongous. There's no one of her statue. But again, I don't know. We'll see how that move works out. I hope it works out for him. It's only a 1-year deal, so if it doesn't work out, it's not like it's the end of the world for Atlanta Dream. But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. I hope San Antonio and Dallas both get back on track. There are teams. And, Dallas went to the finals last year, so I hope they get it together. San Antonio needs to make the playoffs. We need to improve. I want Pop to stay around because, the question is if Pop hangs it up, who gets that job? And the San Antonio way is to stick with him. I mean, the only person on that staff that I think could get it would be Brett Brown. He's on that staff. He was a Sixers coach. Well, technically, he was in San Antonio, went to the Sixers, and then came back. Again, with having this young team, you can't put a young coach and a young team together. I just don't think it works.
You have to have a veteran.
You have to have either a veteran locker room with a young coach, or you have to have a veteran coach with a younger locker room with a few veterans. So, like you gotta find the right combination there. So we'll see what they do. But NBA is getting exciting. College is getting exciting. So before we hop onto the let's see what it says. Reports are y'all Houston, San Antonio, Philadelphia, Miami, are the next cities to earn a WNBA franchise. Charlotte is also mentioned.
Yep.
Well, so Brandon, I mean, I'm assuming San Antonio had a team. They obviously got bought out by the Las Vegas Aces and they moved. I mean, WNBA is not. I mean, besides the Dallas team, there's non-existent here. It's just the Wings.
Yep.
I would love to have another WNBA team here. But let's before we talk about some college, just run another ad real quick, and then we'll talk about some college stuff. So I'm not kidding you. You're gonna think like, what are these scores? This is all that's played this week, by the way. The top 25 is what I went off of. The second group of teams, that's who played yesterday. No top 25 teams. This is what was on ESPN. So don't get mad at me. This is what we got. But that South Carolina Tennessee game was a good game, a really good game. I thought this was going to be a blowout by South Carolina. Tennessee hung around, but South Carolina, I I I know you talked about them winning it, and Derek, I think I'm going to agree with you. Their starting five is insane, and their second group, I think, is just as good.
Absolutely.
It's like having two teams on one.
I'm fixing to tell you. Let me find it right quick. Okay. So obviously they've only lost one game, and they lost
Yeah.
to UCLA. They lost to UCLA the third, fifth, sixth game of the
Yeah,
season.
it was at the beginning, early part of the season.
Listen to their last 5 games for South Carolina. They beat number 5 Texas by 17.
And Texas
beat-
girls are a good team.
They beat number 19 Alabama by 18. They beat number 13 Oklahoma by 41.
God.
They beat number 5 LSU by 10, and then they beat number 18 Tennessee by 7. 5 straight top 20 games. They're unfreaking believable. I'm looking forward to the February 16th game against UConn. That's kind of right before, was there 4 games left in the season, right before you kind of go. But what makes this so impressive, their leading scorer averages 12 points a game.
It's just crazy.
That means the entire team is scoring. Like the entire team is let's look right here. 12, 11, 10, 9, 9, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5, 2, 2, and 2. They're averaging 81 points a game.
That's just insane.
They're unbelievable. I mean, there's no other.
Do you think? I mean, I know we're so early into. We're not even. We're not even done with March game. The last game before the conference tournament is the 2nd of March, so we got about another month. I know this will be jumping ahead, but can anyone beat them when it matters? That's the question. Can anyone upset them when it matters? And right now, based off of what I see and how just they have 2 teams, man. It's like having 2 South Carolina teams on a bench. Like,
yeah,
I mean, again, I'm excited to see them play Texas again. Texas girls are really good, but again, I agree. I'm most excited about the UConn game.
I mean, UCLA, they're sitting at 20-0, and they beat South Carolina.
UCLA is good too. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to tell you my surprise team in women's this year.
Okay.
TCU, 20-2. Haley Van Lith transferred from Louisville to LSU, from LSU to TCU. She has got these girls rolling. Their only loss, they lost to South Carolina, which they lost by 33. And they lost by 1 to Oklahoma State. Okay?
Wow.
And, I mean, this team is so good. So good. They beat Baylor. Okay? They beat Baylor, ending a 35-year losing streak.
Wow.
35 years. They were losing to Baylor, and they finally won.
Would that be your pick to win the Big 12 tournament as of now, just based off what you see?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. They'll be a 2 seed in the tournament. And I would not be surprised if they didn't make a deep run. I mean, they've got a big girl, and they've got Haley Van Lith on running the point. She's going to be a steal in the draft. Whoever gets her, she'll be a steal for whoever.
Let me tell you some other teams that are here's a team that's kind of back in the mix.
All right,
Hey,
Brandon.
Brendan, appreciate you hopping on, man. Florida Gulf Coast girls are back.
Really?
They're 17-3. They're winning. They're undefeated in their conference. They're balling this year. In the Atlantic Conference, UTSA Roadrunner girls 17-3. Great team this year. Notre Dame is pretty good in that. I mean that conference is ACC, of course, is stacked with everybody.
Yeah.
But they're top of that right now. Obviously TCU is leading the Big 12. UConn's leading the Big East. Hey, listen. Whatever's going on in Montana, we need to figure that out. Montana State Bobcats girls 18-2. What are they giving these people in Montana? The football teams
Exactly.
they're phenomenal. Obviously UCLA is great. I'm just going through these conferences. I mean, the other conferences aren't the best. But those are pretty much the top teams I called off there. Norfolk State, where Michael Vick's coach, and they're 18-4 in their conference. I don't know who that is, but they're pretty good. They're 16-3. Fairleigh Dickinson Knights, they're 16-3. These are those teams that we don't hear about right now, but we hear about them in the tournament.
Hear about them in the tournament.
Let's see here. I'm looking through here. The Southeastern Louisiana Lady Lions are 16-3. Oh God, that division is terrible, dude. Okay, here we go. Another Montana team, but South Dakota. South Dakota girls 18-3. North Dakota State is second. I mean, Dakota, Montana, those teams. I don't know what they give their players, but they're phenomenal. Madison Dukes are pretty good. So I mean, those are Grand Canyon Lopes are 19-2. So
yeah, ECU.
Some of these teams, these are these teams you don't hear about. We'll start hearing about them in March when obviously that's on the women's side of things, but start hearing about some of these teams when it comes time for the conferences or to the March Madness to start. It's coming. I'm excited. It's insane how close it is. We're about a month away, so excited about that. And we'll hop into a little bit of men's stuff. Obviously, Iowa State lost to Arizona. We talked a little bit.
Great game.
Really
great game. That was such a good game.
It was. And then over here on the other side, I think these were yesterday games. Nothing crazy really happened. Everyone won.
Kentucky upset Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Kentucky did beat Tennessee. Tennessee's kind of fallen a little bit. Conference plays popped around. They've kind of fallen off. I'm just sitting here going through some of these men's. Obviously,
Cooper Flag is
insane.
I mean,
he's one and done, right? There's no way he comes back, right? I mean,
no, not a shot. No, I mean, well, let me rephrase that. I think it depends on who gets the number one pick.
Ooh, do you think that's going to fall into play here?
Like, I don't think Cooper Flag is going to want to go number one to Toronto.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Cooper Flag is going to go number one to Charlotte, even though it's North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that. I'll tell you what I would love to see, though. Whoever gets the number one pick, I'd love to see Oklahoma City throw every single draft pick that they've accumulated and go get Cooper Flag.
Which is, if they, dude, could you imagine?
Cooper Flag could be the Kevin Durant of this team.
You know what I've been seeing a lot of that you say that? I've been seeing a lot of stuff telling Oklahoma City to, now I don't agree with this trade, but I've been hearing everyone say trade Chet for Kevin Durant.
Stupid. You don't blow up what you have for somebody like Kevin Durant. I'm sorry.
He's great.
I don't know if I'm Oklahoma City. Let me just think.
I mean, listen, Kevin Durant's great, obviously a superstar, but to let your up and coming superstar go, would hurt you in the long run. For short term, it's not the worst thing, but long run doesn't do you no good.
I think there's one person in the NBA who I would trade anybody on my roster for, but it would almost have to be that person plus draft pick, and that's Nikola Jokic.
Oh yeah.
If you put Jokic on Oklahoma City, they would be unbelievable.
Oh my god!
But it would have to be a 1-1 plus draft, like Chet and Jokic and 15 draft picks or something like that.
Yeah,
but not Chet and another person plus draft pick. Because they have such a good thing going right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't let anyone go off that team right now unless it's like a super role player, maybe a younger player. I'm not letting any of my stars go. I don't care if they're hurt or not. But yeah, man, we're hot. I mean, basketball season's here.
Yes, it is.
It's crazy. It's here. I mean, it's crazy. We're talking about basketball. It felt like football was never going to end until it's ended. We got one game left. Man,
did you see 400,000 people have posted on Twitter that they are boycotting the Super Bowl? 400,000 said they're not going to watch it.
Is that just because of Mahomes and the matchup and
the matchup?
Listen, I mean, I get it. You know, nobody wants to see Kansas City again. You know, play in the Super Bowl. You know, I don't know, man. I guess I feel the opposite of everyone. Like, I'm not mad about the matchup. I'm glad a Washington team didn't make it because we would have.
I don't know if it's the matchup. Like for me, I think it's literally Mahomes. Like if you put, I don't know, Tua on Kansas City and they're going for a 3-peat, go get it. If you put Derek Carr on the Chiefs and they're going for a 3-peat, go get it. I think it's just Mahomes for me.
I mean, I guess what blows my mind is, again, if you take away all the crap, the referee stuff and everything, and I get a lot of that does come into play. I get some things have happened in their way in key moments. I get that. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I get it. Right? Some of it has made a difference in those games. But at the same time, I do want to see something that's never happened. I mean, so let's just jump ahead. If they were to win, because I think it's going to be a hard game. It's not a gimme game by any means. Again, like I said, I'm glad it's a Philadelphia team, someone that's good. I'm glad we didn't get the Commanders because I don't think the Commanders would beat the Chiefs. I mean, they didn't beat the Eagles. Look what the Eagles done to them. If they were to win, and let's say they make it back next year, I mean, what do we do now? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to, like I said earlier when we had Jayvon on, I don't remember how you pronounce his name, but I just want to see better consistency with the refs. I'm not saying they're doing a horrible job, but if you're going to call it this way, call it that way the whole game.
Yeah,
let's stick to that. I do agree with that. I don't want a flag to determine a game. That's what I'm going to say. At any level, high school, 6-man, it doesn't matter. Like, let them play. Call the plays that need to flags that need to be called, but don't let a flag determine the outcome of a game. Just let them play. And I hope we get that in the Super Bowl. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I've seen it all week. Everybody's hating on Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's hating on the Chiefs. But a lot of it, people, it's not just the players. Andy Reid's a phenomenal coach. Man.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I like Pacheco. I like Andy Reid. I like Chris Jones. I like the Chiefs. It's the Mahomes, Kelsey, Taylor Swift. This is what I want to happen. Every time Travis Kelsey catches the ball, I don't need to see a picture of Taylor Swift.
I agree. Every time something
I mean,
happens, they
if
put
we're
her
gonna
up.
do that, every time Saquon Barkley gets a 20-yard run, I need to see his wife or his
Yeah.
girlfriend or his mother or you know what I mean? Like I get that. That's what I get sick of. Like she
I
has
do. I
absolutely
agree.
nothing to do with the game. I don't
Now,
need to see her.
did you see when Caitlin Clark was hanging out with her that one game?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I love that for Caitlin Clark. I didn't mind seeing her, just
But it was
because
one time, and you
it
know what
was
I mean.
one
That's how
time. Yeah.
every freaking game.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. They need to leave that stuff at home. Let's just let them play ball. We don't need, like you said, we don't need to see. I don't mind seeing ex coaches, ex players, but I don't want to see Taylor Swift every time. I already see her in the news because of
Yeah.
this huge concert she just had. Like, I know my daughter, like when I was watching the game, and she goes, "Oh, there's Taylor Swift." I said, "Yeah, nothing new. I've seen her all year. I've seen her more than you have." Because
Yeah.
she's at every Chief game and she's on there at least 10 times. But I do agree with that. Let's just play football. Let's keep it football. We don't need pop stars popping up every chance they get because her boyfriend made
Yeah.
a play. We'll see what happens, man. Like I said, we'll talk about that game.
Next Wednesday.
We'll talk about that game next Wednesday. Well, man, great show.
Yes, sir.
Again, thanks to all the sponsors. Oh, and again, guys, hold on. I forgot to take something off. Oh, here it is. Listen, please, 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 if you're watching and you haven't followed us, I'm assuming you are because you're watching, but if you're not following us for whatever reason, please scan this QR code. You can add us on all of our socials. We're on Apple Podcasts now. You can even watch our streams on Twitch. We made a channel for people just in case, you don't watch the Facebooks and the YouTubes. Not that everybody usually does, but we're trying to get our podcast out to every platform we can. So please, please, please follow us and continue to follow us. We have we have guests continuing to come on. It's still a trend, So keep following us and
Got softball next Sunday night, right?
Yep. Next Sunday we have a softball player on, a local softball player that plays at a local college. She'll be on, so that'll be exciting and fun. She's a pitcher, so that'll be fun. She has I talked to her father, a really really good story to talk about through high school and coming into the college side of things. So we're excited about that. And then the next Wednesday we have Chris. He is a receiver at Plano High School in the Metroplex in Dallas. He's going to play at Hendricks. So that's exciting. Excited to have him on and kind of talk about it. He has an interesting story too, because it wasn't always football for him. So that'd be fun to talk about that and kind of see what happened, what made him go that way. And we're still doing stuff. Derek's in the works with things. By the way, I'm doing this live. I waited for. Well, I didn't want to do it. Yeah, because it was last podcast. I've been waiting to say this live, but I figured you probably already knew. Everybody already knew who it was, but that was me that messaged Patrick Mahomes. By the way, I'm assuming.
No, yeah, I do. Yeah.
I was shooting for the roof. I was like, maybe, hey, it's East Texas. Oh yeah. Of course, I got nothing. I didn't expect to get nothing. I had to do it. I saw it.
Oh yeah.
I did some digging to make sure it was real and everything. That was definitely me. I've been reaching out to people. I tell you, man, you probably saw some of those messages. I want an offensive lineman so bad. I know we're done with football. I need an offensive lineman, man. We need a big
dude.
man.
Hey, like I told you, y'all today, I joined about 20 different Facebook pages today, from an Illinois basketball page to a Kentucky baseball page to a Florida, like 3 or 4 Florida high school recruiting pages. And I told them, I said, hey, with it being the tail end of the year, we know that that's basketball, baseball, softball. So that's kind of what we're looking for. But we will gladly take volleyball and football, whatever. We just want the kids on to talk with them and to hear their story. So anybody we get, I mean, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, anybody. Hey, Derek, I do want to ask you, are we still at some point scheduled to have that Olympian-ish girl high school state?
We are waiting for the state championship to get over with.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's
Uh,
That's soonish, right?
It's the end of February, early March, when the swimming's over with.
I'm excited
Mama,
about that one.
I'm still talking with the mom. She keeps me updated, weekly. So just a little bit about that. She's a freshman at a school about an hour away from us, and she does she's been swimming forever. And this summer, so eighth grade going into her freshman year, she did some kind of Olympic trial type stuff with U17 and U18-year-olds, and won like 3 events and got second in 2 events, and so that'll be something really cool, a whole different dynamic than we've had on here before. But yes, that is something that is definitely still in the works.
Awesome. Well, great stuff, man. Guys, we appreciate all of y'all popping in and hanging out with us. And we're going to, again, this is year round for us. We're not stopping. Football's over. We have
On
hockey
to the next.
going on. On to the next.
Yeah.
We got hockey going on. Baseball starts in. Well, they've already reported, but
They've already reported, yeah.
Spring ball's in a month. You're in the works with someone on the baseball side of things, professional. So we'll see
Two professionals.
Two
different organizations. The big stuff.
Big stuff. So stick around and keep hanging out with us, Derek. I appreciate everything you do.
Absolutely, I love it.
And
It's
we will see everybody on Sunday. And
Yep.
Everybody have a good evening. Hey, Derek. Right when we finish, can you stay on for about 30 seconds? I got something to tell you. I just didn't want to say it on here.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll see everybody Sunday. Y'all have a good evening.
Yep.